And the mute, my,
Yes, no. it is.
Is anybody in Zoom land able to get the meeting?
no.
Okay. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Lucille. It's Kay. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm not either.
I'll go ahead in the chat and let send that in Zoom land. We're not getting anything.
Oh, yeah. Patty Davis helping us. Can you read that, Lloyd, the chat? Not hearing everyone able to hear you. Zoom land isn't here, everyone able to hear, yeah.
They can't hear?
It's
Can you
fixed
hear
now.
me now,
Yep.
shake your head. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we can't hear you. So Lloyd, I think you have everybody muted because every single person is muted.
Somebody was shaking their head, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let me try again.
Hey, Deb, I can
Yep,
hear
there you
you
go.
in Zoom land. This is Kay.
Okay, everybody, can you hear me? Everybody, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're very loud.
Just talk normal.
Volume down, whoever said.
John Moran.
Can you see me when I talk? Okay. Okay, better?
There we go.
Okay, better? Everybody good? Put your hands up. Good? I'm gonna say welcome to you. Okay, good?
Turn
She has her
down the
thumb up.
volume.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is it?
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. All right, I'm Deborah Megan. We owe our thanks to Ken and Dolly. Ken made this gallery, and I saw them they left, and this is for the taxes for the back down. From tax to tax, so don't get me upset. All right. Sabrina, you are here on time.
Here.
Everybody stop in. We are going to start, we're recording, correct?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
All right, Sabrina's up. So Sabrina's going to give our sub-district overview.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Saturday. So just as far as our town square work orders go, we've had 24 opened in the last month, 13 closed, a number of discussions or suggestions or items of discussion from the homeowners. 17 recurring items were completed by our in-house maintenance. That means those were work orders or things that we do on a, sorry, not work orders, things that we do on a recurring basis, such as pool cams, checking and balancing that, sweeping and cleaning the pool decks, those types of things. And then we have 48 proactive and non-recurring work orders completed by in-house maintenance as well. So within the month, we've had 48 plus 17 done by our in-house maintenance. So just wanting to show you guys what he's doing for us and how many tasks he's handling throughout the month. As far as our action items go, outdoor pool startup went well. I know we've had this hailstorm and discussions following that. As soon as we have a damage inspection report received, we'll start running down that path and of course sharing all the information along the way. Irrigation startups have been completed for all of our bungalow homes. And then our landscape walkthrough is done on a monthly basis. So we are trying to keep up with the landscaping, making sure that they're keeping on track with the things they're supposed to be doing. So again, if you're seeing things that are issues, report them immediately so we can stay on top of that. And we'll be looking into some deep cleaning of our locker room floors and the existing shower space and the bathrooms as well. All right, as far as our maintenance items for Nick, again, there are plenty of items that he has taken care of for us. I have those on a list here in our slideshow. Don't know if we're sharing that, are we?
No.
Oh, I think you're
I don't
right.
wanna
Do you have that available to share screen?
share screen.
Yeah, do you have that email by chance?
No, I don't
Okay.
have it up.
Okay, let's not worry about that now, but in the future, we'll make sure we're sharing the screen so you guys can see what I'm reading and kind of following along with us. Town Center Metro District financials are up on the website, so please go visit those. The most recent is going to be, at this point, I think we have through March. We should be getting April here shortly. And then as far as events coming up, we have our events that have taken place throughout May, sorry, not coming up, past events. Mother's Day event, Cinco de Mayo, Creative Endeavors had 4 classes, Active Minds, Memorial Day pool opening were all events that were held in May. And then free events and classes are our adult and infant CPR and AED classes. We are still holding that. So if you're interested in joining, it's a really valuable class. I learned a lot from it. It really does give you the hands-on experience with the mannequin that we're able to use. So join that, sign up if you haven't. And then Man's Pancake Breakfast, beginning poker workshop, doo-wop soul hangout, and happy hour on the patio were all events that we were able to hold for free or with sponsors. And then looking ahead to June, we have budgeted classes and activities being Active Minds, Creative Endeavors, Trivia Night, Father's Day events, drive-in movie night. And then upcoming also for classes and activities is our hailstorm education that we held the other day. Just kind of going over what that process looks like. Again, Nick is here. He's valuable. He's been through these many of times and he's providing some pretty sound information. Again, we're not making any recommendations as far as what you do. We're merely suggesting and trying to provide some guidance on it. Certainly it is your homes and it is up to you, but we're here to help. Another adult and infant CPR AED, as I said, please sign up for that if you're interested. There's an intro into geocache, really cool modern thing that they're doing out there. So if you want to know what that is, get involved. Happy hour at the club that will, I think, continue on a regular basis throughout the summer. So keep an eye on those. They're just out on the patio, fairly casual, bring, you know, a dish to, you know, bring and have everybody enjoy. And then Mahjong open house. So anybody who's interested in learning how to play the game of Mahjong. That's pretty much everything we're doing. Any questions for me? Yeah.
Kelvin, please. I'm gonna be loud so you can hear me on the speakers. For hail damage, is the roof at the lodge going to need to be replaced?
We assume so, yes.
Okay. So-
I personally haven't seen the reports. This is all just hearsay as I'm speaking about it.
Well, that's understandable since practically everybody else's roofs.
Yeah.
Need to be replaced.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nick said somewhere along 90%, 95% of that we have damage throughout.
And I know I'm gonna have to everybody's has to deal with a certain amount of deductible for their return policies.
Yeah.
What is the deductible for, insurance policies that cover these buildings?
So I don't know the exact number yet, but I gave a ratio at the last education seminar. So if the building, I believe our wind and hail is 10%, I'm confirming all this information with TCMD. So don't hold me to the fire yet because I don't have it in writing in an email that says this is what it is. But if we're at a 10% wind and hail deductible and our building's worth $450,000, we owe a $45,000 deductible.
Or, and that's for only a 450,000.
Yes, because it's 10% of the total building value, not the cost to replace the roof, but the value of the building is where that percentage comes
That's
from.
You
just,
just talk
that's
about
just an
the-
example, Cal, that's
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
Okay.
You just talked about, okay, is that lodge and the.
That I don't know.
lodge Only. if
Yep.
it's-
I don't know if they're insurable under the same coverage and therefore we pay one. My assumption is we'd have to pay a deductible per building.
Ouch.
Yeah, and again, my assumption, I'm gonna say that very clear. I don't have this in writing yet from TCMD as far as what it looks like. We're just diving into that.
Guys, let's just keep in, this is Richard Gato, let's just keep in mind, we're just getting started with the inspections, the insurance, all that. So, you know, next month's meeting, we'll have more details as to exactly the cost and what's gonna need to be repaired and everything else.
Yeah.
But because she has to go through so many people, it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So,
And we will have a TCMD meeting, I think, before we have another meeting, I believe. So they should hopefully provide that information there as well.
So something to remember, we, meaning people here, the sub-district, Goodwin, the Y, we don't choose or sign for our insurance. It is a blanket insurance that's taken out by TCMD. So they will handle and they understand how the policy works and it covers multiple facilities besides ours. So we'll get all the details when that comes in. And the 450 valuation is just a number out of the sky to give an example. Couldn't see you, Teresa.
I'm Salama. So there's been, this is Dr. Mayo, a question about the, split room fence that belongs to TCMD, that lines the access between, let's say, there's one on 52nd Avenue, that's a trail access to, Highline Canal Trail. There's another one down the cul-de-sac. There's one up the street, beside Chuck, Shotton's home. Those, is my understanding, are town center metropolitan district property, and the caps on those are shattered. So do we put in a work order, or is that something TCMD, their adjuster, their inspector is coming around, they're making note of that? Someone was, indicating that those caps were our responsibility, but those are town center metropolitan district property, correct?
Yes.
That's my understanding too.
Yeah, so if the fences are not a fence that's surrounding your yard, that is not your fence, your responsibility, right? But the, exactly. Yes, yes, and we talked about that at that little education session as well, where we said, here's where we think you can get your fence caps from. That seems to be where there's a lot of damage. But back to the TCMD rails, they did do a walkthrough, is my understanding, and looked at all of the damage, did indicate there were cap damage as well, and they are well on their way in trying to figure out a plan to get those replaced as well. Absolutely, it could not hurt to send in a work order request to Westman just to document that. Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank
You're welcome.
anything you can put in writing would be better.
you. Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
I have a question, it's not about damage, it's about, I live in the bungalow, and the company that's taking care of our yard.
Mhm.
I have noticed, we're going through our neighborhood, the parkways are full of crabgrass, and it gets into our lawns also. And I was told that they're gonna come out and do weed abatement, but so far, I haven't seen them do weed abatement or anything other than mow and go.
That's definitely not what we're looking for. We're looking for full service. That is what we were promised. And so we've got a walkthrough with them on Tuesday. We're gonna set eyes on it with them and figure out what's happening.
The thing that we really need to take care of right now is the crabgrass.
Yes,
Because
the weeds and the crabgrass just take over. Yes, for those front lawns or the street lawn. Yep, absolutely. We're aware. We're digging in. We're gonna make sure that we get what we deserve from this.
And we're gonna have a questions and answer session at the end of what we're going to discuss. There's only a few more items. So I will move on, and then if you have a question, you can save it. Sabrina very quickly went through upcoming events in August. I just want to say this, Town Square is your Bible. It's like your Bible. Don't mean it. That came out, I don't mean that in a negative way. Regarding your community, Town Square is your resource. We are moving away from the website. We had a couple of different websites, Cat something, I don't know, Cat, whatever. But Town Square is where you go. I've heard, I'll come into an event and I'll hear people say, I didn't even know we were having this. So look on Town Square. Yesterday, the announcement for this with Zoom came out.
Mhm.
So you should have received it 2 ways yesterday, from the CAC, from Walter and Lloyd, but you also should have gotten what's called a blast from Gina, saying something new has been posted. Every event is in Town Square, everything that's happening is in Town Square, so it just pains me to come to an event and have somebody say, I didn't know we had Mother's Day event yesterday, I didn't know we had trivia tonight, by the way, everyone. So Town Square is it, and if you have the app on your phone, it is really simple. That's where you RSVP, so everything's on. And if you see something that says a blast, that means it's final. So last week, one came out from Gina about last week, this week, whatever week you want to call this. One came out saying that Nick was holding a seminar. I think there were maybe 30 people.
Yeah, it was a pretty
So a
good full
number of
house.
people heard about it. Well, we have almost 600 people here, so maybe not everybody. And then you have choice, okay? So I just want to plug Town Square. App needs to be on your phone, and that is where you go. If you think, oh shoot, I don't remember Town Square. Okay, play around with it. So I wanted to say that. I'm kind of going off script for some of you in here. I want to put a plug in for the CPR AED class. Again, we have, what, 370 homes, we have 600 people. And we've had 30 folks attend. Now we have a limit, only 8 per class. I went on Thursday night, and I wish Randy or Jeannie was here for me to say thank you, and thank you. It was fabulous. I've been an ambulance corps driver. I've been, EMT years ago. This was a great class. My partner in the class is here. And I said to a friend, are you going? She said, no. I said, wait a minute. I'm going to be able to save you, but you're not going to be able to save me. So listen, go. It's 2 hours of your life, and you could save somebody else's. There's an AED in this building. Right here at the second multi-purpose room. What's the big room?
The grand room.
The
Great
grand
room. Great
Right
room.
there. And there's one over in the hallway in the lodge. But seriously, it is so well worth it. Who's attended in here? Raise your hand. Oh, wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Was it worth it? You tell me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So think about it. Your grandkid, your partner, your relative. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if this is true in Colorado. I came from Maine. If you could learn CPR and you're in a restaurant, you're obligated to perform CPR on the person. So I don't know if that's true here, but anybody who's been trained, when you wanna find out whether that means wherever you are, if someone needs CPR, you're supposed to provide it.
I don't know about that. I know all 50 states have a good Samaritan law, which means if you provide CPR, you cannot be held liable for anything, for, you know, a broken rib or, not saving that person. So I did not hear that, but I certainly, my conscience wouldn't let me do otherwise, so.
I don't know, the name, that was true.
Thank you. And your name was?
Robbie Lipsman?
Okay, so I just highly recommend it. It's so worth your time. And we've had 5 classes. Did I get that right?
I think that's right.
5 times 8 is 48. Did I do that right? That's not right at all. But anyway, yeah, thank you. So I think we've had maybe 4 times 8. So I think we've had 4 classes, maybe 1 we had at night. My point here is we've had about 30 people go through. Some were full, some had a couple of spaces. We can do more night classes, but we just need to know that you want. And all you have to do is send an email to Gina and let her know if nighttime works better for you, or if it's Saturday, or if it's Sunday. And if Randy can do it, he'll do it. We want to accommodate as many people as we can. So that's the CPR one. And I say, good, Richard, what do you think?
Good,
Uh,
should do it.
and again, grandkids, partners, wives, spouses, friends, neighbors, in keeping with what, I won't say that till last. Okay, one more thing, as we've talked in these meetings, the acoustic shields have been placed in the lodge, and it makes an enormous difference. They've been placed out here. If you haven't been to the lodge lately, it looks like a different building. It is carpeted, the tables, the chairs, everything that we've been working on for years has been done. In addition to that, we have security that has been upgraded. Sabrina, when did the pool doors get done?
Hopefully in the next month. I don't have a date yet on the pool doors.
Or is still not,
No, that's a different situation.
okay,
The pool door is moving to a different account because of the number of doors we're putting on
we
it,
did
so
get that.
we've got it approved, it's ready to go, I just don't have a scheduled date yet.
Okay, so the only thing in the 2 buildings that's not quite on the security, it still locks at night and everything, the 2 pool doors. Everything else, we now have 23 cameras. Those cameras record everything you do,
Everything you do.
okay?
Everything.
So we have had a recommendation that the building should be open 24/7. As a cap, we voted that down, absolutely positively, costs, lights, everything. So the hours for these buildings, both buildings are 5:30 to 11. That means you must be out by 11. So if you're coming for a swim, don't come in at 10:45. They're monitored by our staff. After 11, if motion is detected, guess what? They get woken up. Okay? And your motion, they can see. Don't do it. If you come in after hours, you will receive a warning. And according to the handbook, you'll get one, then you'll get another. We follow the recommendation, so don't do it. Now, the good side of this is we can see the pickleball courts, we can see almost all of the bocce ball courts, we can see the front of the building, and we can see well.
Yeah.
So if we have issues, generally, we can identify. So one of the things I'd ask, and we have had some issues in Fairway Villas too, with some individuals. I would say, I don't want to say juveniles, under the age of 18. If you see something during the day, call Gina. Gina has personally asked me to have you call her. If they're around, if Nick is here. They will also, if you don't call, and for whatever reason, annotate the day and time. It can go back on the screen. And if damage has occurred, it's probably been recorded and we can use it if we have to file a report. Okay, so Gina's words were to see something, say something, call her, and write down the day and time. I just had this conversation with you yesterday. You can't call her because you're engaged in something important. Write down the date and time because they can go back and look on the cameras. 23 cameras. Okay, 24/7. CPR, security. We are circulating some cards. Becky Schreiner's not here right now. She is at a funeral in Nebraska, and, Josie is not here. Josie gave me permission today to let you all know that her surgery went well. She said I could say she had her bladder removed, but the recovery is more difficult. So last night she was moved to a SNF, an interim nursing facility where she's going to be getting some care during the night, and she can learn all of the occupational and day-to-day living tasks that will be required. I'm circulating, or we're circulating. Okay, if anybody would like to sign a card for Josie, it's up here, and there's a card here for Patty Cal as well. And I heard, Debbie Kate, did we circulate a card? I haven't seen one today. I already got one, you can pick one and circulate it if you'd like. Is there anyone else we should circulate a card for?
She's been in the hospital. She just got home Monday for weeks. She had a tear in her intestine and it's, leaked into her abdomen.
You have permission to share it.
Yes,
Okay.
and, she's home now though and on the road recovery.
So if there's anybody we know, this is just a thought that ran through my head when I heard how many people we had. I think it's something we can do as long as we think about it. And if you don't want to and you don't know the individual, that's fine too. Yesterday, last new topic. Anybody have any comments about anything I've said? Okay, this is, I'm going back to Hale and I apologize. I know we're all so over it. You all should have gotten an email from Weston yesterday. If you didn't attend Nick's seminar and you'd like to, I heard, I wasn't able to, but I heard great feedback. If we should have another one, Gina said just call and let her know you'd be interested and share with her the time, leave her an email, text her, and then we can get another one going. Nick, was a roofer. Nick sold roofing, Nick did roofing, Nick's got experience working with insurance. So was anybody at the meeting? Was it worthwhile?
Absolutely.
Okay, so, if we want it done again, we just need to know we have interest. But this is important from Westland. We have to submit when we replace our shingles. Now it says, interestingly, if you're replacing your roof and changing the floor tile, you're required. But if you're replacing with the same and no reproval required, but you must notify management so we can note your account accordingly. So it doesn't mean you have nothing to do. You don't need permission, but you still need to notify them. So please don't do nothing and then end up with some kind of a warning. I think it's incredible what they said they're going to do within the 30-day time period. Yeah. And they're going to send a courtesy notice to us if they don't hear from us. So make sure you read this and you take the required action.
Yes. It is also up on Town Square in case you need that. I sent it out in the e-blast that I had information about the hail. So it's there for easy access. It's also on the website for Westwood. I think it's applied that link there as well. So if you need that, or if you just want a copy of it and you want me to print one for you, come see me. We can help you with that process. I think that there is some discussion as to whether or not if we're improving the roof, but using the same style and shingle, would we need approval? So that question's still out there. We'll confirm whether or not you do and give you some further info on that as well. There's this one here. Sorry, this goes with that part. I held on to it.
I have more detail commentary. I will bring up. I have my security commentary. I have no more building update commentary. No more
Did you
town clerk
want-
commentary.
Did you want-
I'm going to end with some conversation on the upcoming election and these meetings. Does anybody have any questions? And are there any questions in Zoom land? There are two chats. Has anybody looked at the chats? That's okay. So Gina made a good point. She wants you to know that with the AED and the CPR class, you don't get a card that certifies you, but you're trained to save a life. The $10 cost, just so you know, is to the church that's loaning us the 4 babies and the 4 adult. Mannequins, thank you. Any questions from Zoom land or from here, or I'll go to the final topic. Going once, no more questions after this, going twice.
Is it just about what we've talked about, or are you going to
This is the Q&A period right now.
Oh, there.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, I'm sorry. So Zoom land, this is the Q&A period. Gail, I think you had the question first, go ahead, Gail.
I understand that, we are going to be separated from town center metro district. I have heard that, and that we will no longer have to be paying taxes.
Not true, so that decision has not been made.
Okay, this was told to me by Brandon, actually. So,
When you're
yeah,
talking about taxes, I do not believe that there's gonna be a change in taxes based on what we've been told, because all of our expenses are the same. So I'm happy to answer your question. I just wanted to quickly take the box on, I wouldn't say our taxes are gonna change.
that's what he told me.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a month. Quite honestly, people can say whatever they want, including Brandon, but until it's inked, nothing is happening. So, look, that's a mute point.
Okay, do you know when that might happen?
I have no idea.
Nothing, okay,
It's 12 months or further out.
it is,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
And this is Richard Gato, and we're aware of this, obviously, and we've been looking at options and exploring options, and we've had a committee with CAC that is delving into that, and when we have more definite information, we'll share that with the community. Okay, but right now, everything's still in a very intimate stage of this discussions.
Can I just ask you, why would we need options getting rid of them?
Well, there's lots of options and ways to consider it to go, Gail.
It's not an easy.
It's not a
Yeah,
getting rid of them.
I think we have to consider they're the developers.
Well, we would like to be informed, this is a very important thing to
You will be.
people in terms of the taxes we pay, our democratic rights, I could go on and on. So please try to keep us
When we
informed.
have information that we can deliver that is succinct, accurate,
Yes.
and available and definitive, we absolutely will tell you. We have not started to say anything, primarily because there are so many stories that could be out there. And I just want you to know that there are people that are spending hours protecting your community and your rights, and I feel confident based on what we know and the hours we've spent that it's going to go as well, if not better than initially anticipated. Right, so don't lose sleep. Kevin? Thank you.
Something doesn't seem right, that, there's these rumors going around, or something, you heard from Brandon, that the community doesn't know that there's been something initiated.
Nothing has been initiated
Well, wait a
yet.
second, you're saying, you just said that people are looking at this. We don't have the answers yet. When we do, we'll have
Okay.
something is
Yeah.
happening
Now,
by the CAC.
let me say, let me respond to you. The rumor has started from TCMD. Nothing has been decided, nothing has come to us formally. Because of that rumor, we have gotten together to educate ourselves. They don't even know what we're educating ourselves on because we're educating ourselves on everything. There isn't anything to share yet. Yes, Cal?
I understand that there has not been any decision. But the fact that is some sort of discussions are happening that are going to affect everybody in our community. It's just the fact that we should be informed that some sort of thing is happening. Otherwise, it's not transparent. It seems to be a secret. It seems to be not, in the interest of transparency, what something can be said. Until like to the extent of what the CAC is doing, is an ad hoc committee,
Okay.
does it have a scope?
If you'll give me the floor, I will tell you what we know.
I'd like to, well, okay, it'd be nice to kind of like find out. Okay, you have the floor.
Here's what we know. Brandon has said that TCMD would like to transition the responsibility for their subdistricts. That's it. Okay, that's what's been said.
Can you explain to people, like I know who Brandon is, but not everybody.
Brandon is the open employee who is the chair of the TCMD board. And Bill Schmidt, I know you're on here, right?
Yeah, I'm on here. Do you want me to say anything?
I don't know. Am I saying okay so far?
Well, let me address this for now.
Okay, speak up a little bit. Can we raise him?
I'm
I'm sorry.
There might be a lot of rumors floating around.
Talk, Bill.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah, better. We got you.
Okay. There's a lot of rumors floating around. Town centers talked about making some sort of transition for the last 3 or 4 years. Virtually nothing has happened yet. And until something happens, we can't say anything. Because I don't know what's going to happen either. So just stop all the speculation, because there's nothing I can share because I don't know anything.
And if Bill doesn't know anything, then we don't know anything other than the rumors that have been going on for 3 years. It's ultimately gonna happen. That's what happens. Developer, Metro districts go away. But we will share when we have something to share. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was something that was directly said to me by Brandon. And he added, I didn't even ask him about the taxes that we pay and the money we pay. And he said to me, and by the way, Gail, you will be very happy because you won't have to be paying town center anymore. He added that. So I'm just relaying what.
If he added it that way, what he said was, you won't be paying town center anymore. You are going to be paying someone for all the services. I'm just saying, if he said you won't be paying town center anymore. Okay.
Yeah, but we pay Ebert. And that money is then turned over to town center.
So Bill, anything you want to say to end this? Because I don't think we can share anything because we don't have anything to share.
The only thing I can say is my expectation at this point is Yeah, the taxes we pay right now to town center. If the transition goes the way I think it will, but it's all speculation on my part. We would be replacing town center with Ebert. Ebert is an elected board. Ebert would be in charge of Fairway Villas then, not town center. You would have to pay Ebert the 55 mils or whatever it is to Ebert to pay for Goodwin and all the services that you're getting now. It's just the only difference is you would be able to elect the officials directly that affect your taxes as opposed to the way it is now.
Now, that's not a given. You heard Bill use the word if, it goes a certain way, so. Okay, that's an if. And nothing is happening, nothing has been, meetings have not occurred, rumors have started, meetings haven't occurred. So, Bill, you can verify that, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it's not that we're keeping anything from you. There isn't anything solid to share. Sharing rumors doesn't help. Okay. And then any, questions, other topics, any other questions? Dave?
I'm Dave Petro. The grass along the walk paths last year got cut, I think, 3 times, which is more than it has in the years I've lived here. But it's again about this tall, including some thistles that are about this tall. Some of it, I think, at least what I was told in the past, some of it is the responsibility of this group, I'll phrase, and some is the responsibility of the golf course. There's different barriers and boundaries. I don't know what they are. The map means at the time.
All right, Bill, go long. I'm gonna pass this to you. Are you there?
Yeah, my roofer's gonna show up any minute now, so.
Okay. I mean, I can take it and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
You take it and then I'll correct you.
Twice a year, I'm told it gets cut. We in this room have no responsibility for that. It's either the golf course or town center through Gary Jacobs, what do you call it, through Brittany,
Timberline.
or
West
Ebert, or the city and county of Denver, depending on which little trip you're talking about. My understanding, Bill, correct me, Tuesday, there is a walkthrough of the community by Ebert and Timberline and some others, am I correct?
Correct.
And they will be looking in every nook and cranny for what is or isn't. Bill, is your email available? Or where would you like somebody to send something if they want to bring it to your attention when you're out, prior to you being out on Tuesday?
How about my Gmail account, which
Yes.
is Schmidt, SCHMIDT 3694 at Gmail. I'll repeat it. Schmidt, SCHMIDT 3694 at gmail.com.
So if you want to get anything to Bill's attention, now, please remember, let's be kind, let's be nice, be appropriate, but identify something specific, like, what's recent?
Yeah, like those.
Left, I was gonna say like that.
Because we share the same
Depends,
walkway.
yeah, so you can do it if you'd like. Did everybody get the email? I can repeat it. Everybody has it? Okay. Questions? More? Yeah.
Yeah. On a different topic, Kelly and I have brought to, Louis Kennedy's attention. And we haven't heard any feedback now. But regarding our park, that's over on 54th Place and it's on the
Gardens over there?
It's
This way.
this way, the main entrance.
Well, the maintenance.
Yeah, okay, I haven't seen the other parts. Well, this is, I've been here 10 years. This park has never been taken care of properly. It is a total mess, disaster.
Time out, so I understand. Is this where the community gardens are?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me just time you out, because I know that Louis
Okay. did
and
you bring
others
that
have
to your
walked through, and
Yeah.
that is something that's going to be looked at again on Tuesday, correct, Bill? That's my understanding.
Yes,
Oh, he might have gotten his call.
but I.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, there's no question.
I think I heard him.
Bill, are you there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, that's gonna be discussed on Tuesday, correct?
Well, you guys are adding a lot of things that I wasn't anticipating talking about on Tuesday.
I hope you're planning the whole day, but that's a significant one, and I heard that was gonna be part of the conversation.
I don't know where you heard it from.
Another room, right?
It's not, it's okay.
It's not every nook and cranny that it is.
All right, but I would like to ask, I've been here for 10 years. Kel and I were some of the first people on the agricultural and planting committees years and years ago. We have been treated with total disrespect, I have to tell you, by Town Center. And why are we still retaining the same people who for 10 years are not doing their jobs? It's ridiculous.
The only answer I will give you for that, Gail,
Yes.
is there is a lawsuit.
Oh, good.
Well, we're all aware of the lawsuit, and the lawsuit is right now has a stay, which means it didn't go away. But there's a certain time period, it's listed on there, I believe, at 12 or 14 months for Timberline to step up to the plate. That doesn't mean that they can't look for another provider, and perhaps they are. That's their decision, it isn't ours. And Timberline was required to change our management structure. So you heard me say the word Brittany. Brittany is the manager over our community. There's a stay in place. They are watching them. They are walking with them on Tuesday. They are pointing out the deficiencies. And they either perform or they don't, but the lawsuit can continue or it can end based upon performance. That's all I can say.
Brittany works for Jerry.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, there are
How long are we
attorneys
gonna
involved,
keep paying people?
there are attorneys involved and a lot of people involved. So it's, I have to say this, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, it is above us. And there are people that we have elected to represent us on the Ebert board. Those are elected positions. So when it comes time to vote, we have to walk our asses to the voting place, or we have to put our envelope in the mail and vote. We elect Ebert officials, and we did it. And that's who represents us. And TCMD. So I can't say more about that, so I'm gonna stop. Debbie McClung.
I just have a question that maybe somebody can answer. What I have heard that, the golf course has changed hands and they were thinking of, getting rid of the free, 9-hole. Or whatever it is, and the discount. And I wonder if there's anything that we as a group could do, to be nice, to convince them that we're worth keeping.
Okay.
They would have to change the deeds to our home in order to do that. So chances are really good that it's gonna continue to be a benefit.
Well, actually, I dug up the thing that said it, that we were given when we got the home. And it says at the very bottom in teeny letters, this is not guaranteed, it can change with ownership of the dog. So is that, do you still think it could?
I will try to answer that to the best of my ability.
Because I would like to think that they think we're a part of, I mean, we feel a part of their organization. So I would wonder if we could say something nice that makes us see that we're a bonus to them.
Bill, I'm gonna talk and you can monitor me. The golf course wasn't sold. The property wasn't sold. The concessionaire's agreement was sold. So the concessionaire's agreement is with a new LLC of investors. I know this because I work on the golf course, so I had to sign new employment paperwork, okay? I did have a brief conversation with one of the, I don't want to call him an owner because it's a conglomerate, it's an LLC. And I have reached out and I'm hoping to have some further conversations. I haven't had them yet, but it happened. And it had nothing to do with us, it had nothing to do with Ebert, okay, so the concessionaire's agreement was sold. The way it was shared with us as employees, all the employees are retained. If you don't want to be retained, they hand out unemployment paperwork to those full-time employees. I have only heard positive feedback from the full-time employees at the golf course. They've asked for new equipment, they've asked for things to improve the situation in many different ways, from an agronomy perspective, from other ways, and this company says their intent is to turn this golf course into the best golf course in Denver. So they seem to be willing to put funds in. I'm only saying that as hearsay from employees who were asked if they needed things. They said yes, and they were said, okay, we'll get them. I am very hopeful that what we know won't change. Cal has done a lot of work and provided me with a lot of paperwork, and we can ask.
I've played it 3 times last week.
Say what?
What was that?
I've played it 3 times last week without a problem.
But supposedly you're supposed to check in and
Well,
give your name and there's a list. Do we
Yeah.
keep up the list?
We do not do that. If you own a home, you should have gone down there and given your name. Those employees aren't changing.
Right.
I have heard nothing from anybody who's gone down and said you played the par 3, right?
Yeah,
So 3 times for free, nobody even blinked an eye.
right.
So
And mine has
we're not,
too.
yeah, so we're not gonna assume the worst.
Right.
And I'm hoping to get a conversation, but I want it to be with the right.
But they want you to check in. And I guess.
We always did though. We always did.
Yeah, they always do.
Right,
Yeah.
but, and then I guess the new thing is that people who bought repurchased the
Resale,
home,
second.
They don't get it.
they don't get it, but they thought they did, so they're creating a stink.
That's been that way for,
I
that's been
know,
that
but-
way for as long as
So-
I'm aware.
Yep.
Somehow the realtors have to take that,
You're absolutely right.
take that off. 'Cause
Yes,
they
no,
have.
I'm sorry, wait.
At
Deb,
least
are you,
we-
wait 1 second. Deb, I didn't want to interrupt you. Are you done?
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure we, as
Yeah.
a group, tell them that we feel
Yeah.
a part of them.
And I would, personally, I'm hoping that the new concessionaires would allow not just the original owners, purchasers, but allow the subsequent purchasers to have free use of the par 3 course as well. That would clear up a whole lot of problems and discussions about. And it wouldn't really cost them much more. It really wouldn't cost them anything when you consider how the multi-million-dollar budget they got and how many people here would be using their course. During the times.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm hoping they'll be, I'm hoping they'll be open to expanding that benefit.
I think as an investor, that's not coming. But this is the money.
Why do you have to be waiting?
Hold on. In the sales office, when we originally bought the property, they told us it was deeded. However, they said that if you sell your house, the deed of that being passed over will not happen. That's always been.
That's been,
not changed.
yeah, that's the past. I'm talking about a change in the future.
And that, I'm just saying, from an investor standpoint, that's not going to happen.
Well, I read some numbers. And it
That's
really is
wonderful for
much
you,
cost.
but from an investor standpoint, that's why they have an LLC. They're not gonna add anything that wasn't done in deed.
We're both making speculation.
So I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna stop.
Deborah's going to do the best she can.
So I have a final topic if there are no more questions. Of course, you?
A quick question, I can see a little bit up there that talks about the golf course property,
Oh,
and maybe that answers some of the questions that people are asking.
Okay, Louis, thank you. The golf course properties that we're talking about, the land is owned by TCMD. The golf course is run by a concession agreement. A new concessionaire has been accepted, no property change hands. Thank you, Louis. That's what I had said earlier to Deb. You may not have heard I started that way. Routine landscaping has been preempted by hail damage assessment. So what Louis is saying here is that some of what was gonna happen, I think perhaps on Tuesday, is gonna be moved, because I know I'm spending a lot of time taking care of cleanup, and I think Louis is inferring that too. Thank you, Terry, for pointing this out. Sorry if this has been asked, but do you live in GVR to be on the Ebert? Do you have,
Yes.
wait, do you have to live, you have to live within the boundary of Ebert? Yes, Kathy.
Or you have to own a home.
3 members have their houses for sale, so I assume they'll be replaced. That is correct. If you do not live in a home within the boundaries of Ebert, you cannot serve on the Ebert board. But until such time, you can. Does anyone know who did siding on the house? Mary, it would have been Oakwood, Mary. Can you go down? Is there anything more we missed?
Nope.
Thank you, Terry, for pointing that out.
So Oakwood, Deborah, sorry,
Yes,
Oakwood, but is there a particular vendor? Since we're supposed to be doing similar to what we did, is there a vendor that they used for everybody? For the vinyl siding on the house that was damaged for the hail?
Sandy, go ahead. We
I
have
can
someone.
answer that because I work in Oakwood, and if you call the Oakwood number 486, I think it's 8500, we have a person at Oakwood who is now kind of in charge of that, and if you tell them when your house was built and all that information, he will look it up, and he can tell you the siding, the roofing, all that kind of stuff. We're getting multiple calls per day, and so we have someone directed to just handle that.
Did you hear that, Mary?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
So that number again, the 8500 is right. What was the first
Yes.
three?
486-8500, and just say, his name is Kevin.
Kevin.
Barry, and he is the person who is in charge right now of handling those calls and directing and giving the purchasing information.
Okay, can you put that number in the chat, please, someone?
Kevin Barry, if you can put Kevin Barry, 303 486 8500.
And that will get you to the front desk receptionist, and she can transfer.
Barry or Barry?
Okay, that's right.
Number again?
486 8500.
And Kevin what?
It's in there, Mary.
Okay, Kevin Berry, great, thank you.
Sabrina, can you send that out, like,
You
to
blast
the
for sure.
neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's important to let everybody know. Okay.
Thank you, Terry. That's very kind, by the way.
Yeah.
Going once, huh? Where?
Well, I'm just asking if you put it on Town Square.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yes, perfect. Town Square, that will be posted on Town Square. Good. Okay, going, no questions. I'm gonna end with some of the board members' terms are expiring in August. Becky Schreiner, Walter Mills, and Deborah Meglio. Amani has a year, no. Richard has a year, Lloyd has a year, and Josie has a year. So the potential for 3 openings. We, as a board, feel like we can go to quarterly meetings rather than monthly meetings. And we're also looking for feedback about evening rather than Saturdays, especially in the summer, with our grandkids and baseball games and cheerleading and all the things my grandkids have. I like to throw out, we love feedback. You give it to Gina in an email about, would you be open to an evening, meeting? Like a Wednesday, we meet almost every Wednesday anyway, a Wednesday, a Tuesday, probably not Friday. But let us know, and we'd like to go to quarterly, because we don't have, with Goodwin and everything that has occurred, until such time, if we have a big issue that comes up, then if it requires monthly meetings, we'll move to that. But in the meantime, it doesn't seem like we have a lot of value to add. But there will be a meeting in August. So this is, what is this? There's gonna be a meeting in July, I apologize. We're gonna have a meeting, do you have the date for the meeting in July?
I don't.
On the calendar, you have the calendar, right?
I do, but I'm writing a e-blast
Oh.
right as we speak.
Can somebody look it up? Let me think about it. So first out.
What are we looking for? The date of the next CAC meeting?
Yeah, the first.
It's the
Saturday.
sixth, July sixth? That's the first Saturday.
Let's hope it's good.
No.
First Saturday in July.
Is the sixth, but my
Sixth.
guess is we moved it to the 13th.
So we'll.
And that's a holiday weekend.
That's a holiday.
Probably not a good idea.
So maybe the 13th. We'll figure this out. At that meeting, anybody who submits their name or anyone who you recommend, like you tell your neighbors, submit their name. I talked to Gina, send it to Gina at her Goodwin, what did she call it? Her Goodwin, she went into mine and changed this. She said it is, Gina, she wants it sent to the goodone-co.com. So if you would like to run for the CAC, it will be a 2-year term. You have the opportunity in the July meeting to stand up and tell us why you're the best candidate. And the vote will be electronic, either Survey Monkey or depending on how the Goodwin survey system works, the voting will be in August and the changing of the guard will be in September. So you're gonna put all that on Goodwin too? There'll be a blast, but you don't have to write it right now. You can talk to Jeannie yesterday. Yeah.
Do you know if the people that have the term ending, if all of those people are going to rerun, or is there, again, or is there someone who has already said, I'm done?
There's only one person who has declared. Am I correct that Becky has declared? Yes, Becky has declared. Okay, so there's a potential for 1 to 3, okay? So that's how I wanted to end it, is to make sure you guys, if you're interested, do a write-up, send your photo if you'd like, along with your pros, why you're the best candidate.
No, it's
No.
Gina.Blakewell at goodwin-co.com.
Okay, then I'm ending this 7 minutes late. Anything else that we've missed?
No.
Okay, going once, going twice. Anything that I've missed in the,
Gina just added her email there.
okay, no questions from Zoom land, so we're gonna call it a wrap. Thank you all for attending. Thank you all for attending, appreciate
I
it.
don't know how you save it, do you?
Actually, as soon as I close it.
Oh, it does. Okay.
I just want to have it clear.